Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and a fantastic looking puzzle today. And this is by Jobo, one of the 3 setters of the marvelous CTC clone pack, which is our Patreon reward for this month. It's still plenty of time left to try the puzzles in that. If this one sparks your interest, well, this is what Jobo can do. And he has worked together with Jojo and Skojo to create the CTC clone pack, because those guys are somehow clones of each other, I think. Anyway, it's a really interesting pack. Check it out on Patreon. There's always loads of content on Patreon. It's great stuff. And of course, the links under the video include all of our apps which feature line Sudoku and Domino Sudoku relevant to this puzzle. And they are great to practice your skills on, so do check them out, along with our merchandise and Sven's SUDOKU pad. I am just back from another trip to the Olympics in Paris, where I got to watch tennis and beach volleyball this time. It was a fantastic atmosphere in Paris. Well done to the French for hosting a marvellously fun Olympics. We had a very good time, although trying to get around the city gets tricky with all the road closures that keep on coming into place. It was quite entertaining. Now, my travel was not as disturbed as Simon's. You may hear about that at some point on the channel soon. He's had an absolute aeroplane nightmare. Amazing scenes. Anyway, that's just a little teaser. And I am also going to mention my solve yesterday, where I coloured the last 4 digits wrongly. It didn't matter, I was just finishing off the colouring. It didn't matter for the solution, but not only did I colour them wrongly, I then revealed the whole 6x6 board did not, after all, have a checkerboard pattern when it should have. Some people, quite a lot of people I think, actually think we do this sort of mistake deliberately for engagement, and I promise you we don't. We do it because we are human beings and we make mistakes. We are trying to solve these puzzles live in front of you, and sometimes we get things wrong, and it's fine for you to criticize us for that if you want, but you're just criticizing us for being human, and we can live with that. Anyway, no doubt I will go wrong many times in this puzzle today, but I'm going to go through the rules now. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we're going to put 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. I'm just pausing. Well, we'll get to something in a moment. Adjacent digits along the red line must alternate in parity, so if that one's odd, that one's even, and so on. That is an unusual type of line for us. There are actually a few in the line Sudoku pack featuring parity lines. There's even one where the lines are the same parity, and there are others where the lines are different parities. You have to read the rules quite carefully sometimes. Now, oh yes, here we go. Grey lines are thermometers. They don't look like them because they don't have bulbs. Digits along thermometers must increase from the bulb to the tip, and the bulb and the tip can be on either end and are to be deduced. So each of these is a thermometer with a bulb at one end or the other, and we have to work out where they are, which is unusual. We don't often get uncertain thermometers on the channel. Right. Digits separated by a white dot must be consecutive. Digits separated by an X must sum to 10. Cells in the same position within 2 3x3 boxes cannot contain the same digit. So we have a disjoint subset rule. And all of these digits, for instance, which are in position 3, if you like, within each box, they all have to be different to fulfill that rule. So it's a kind of 4th dimension of checking. Now, the reason I was pausing when I was reading out the rules was because I was having a huge problem in my head with the rule set as I had noticed it and understood it. Being able to disambiguate these 2 rows. Why, when you finished the puzzle, could you not just swap them round? And that last rule, the disjoint subset rule, is what has explained to me why there will be only one solution, presumably. Anyway, those are the rules. Give the puzzle a try on the first link under the video. I don't know how difficult it is. You may be able to tell from the video length. I do know that it's an absolutely beautiful image of a digital clock saying 9:15 in the evening. I hope that's not the alarm time of this alarm clock, because if it is, it's somebody who's putting on the alarm to either to work the night shift or to go out clubbing or something. You can tell me your normal reasons for having a 9:15 p.m. alarm time, but I don't. It's hard for me to guess. I would very rarely have that. Anyway, give the puzzle a try. Don't give that alarm time a try. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. So, right, well, the parity lines, we can start with those. This row has 5 of one parity and 4 of the other, and therefore the 5 parity alternation is odd, or orange in the language of CTC colours. Therefore, all the other digits on that line that alternate are even, and we can colour it like that. And we've now got a very jazzy alarm clock. Right, what does that tell us? Not a whole heap, in my opinion. The white dots don't really come into play much on that line. These ones are interesting. The disjoint subset rule, we can't use that yet, can we? I suppose that means that this digit isn't a 9. Doesn't seem wildly helpful. Either of, well, no, okay, only 2 of the digits on white dots could be 9s at the moment. That's not interesting. What is interesting here? What gives us a chance of solving this? I don't know. Okay, 9 has to be on this line in this box because of where 9's positioned there. And this is a thermo one way or the other. So 9 is in one of the ends of that thermo. There's only one odd digit off the thermo, but that could be 1. If 9 was there, this would be the bulb on its own thermo. That doesn't seem very powerful. Okay, right. Okay, 9 can't be in any of those positions. That's quite interesting, actually. 9 can't be in any of those positions or there. Where's 9 in the middle row? Isn't that funky? I didn't see this coming at all. Right, 9 can't be in those positions because when 9 is on a thermo, even one where you don't know where the bulb, which end the bulb is, 9 can't be on a middly digit in a thermo. So 9 doesn't appear there. 9 also doesn't appear here because these digits would have to be 8 and 10. And it doesn't appear here by good old Sudoku. So the 9 in the middle row is there. And that's quite weird. Now, what else about 9? 9 by the disjoint subset rule can't be there. Where's 9 in this row? It's either there or there. I'm going to have to try and bear in mind the disjoint subset rule. Possibly even during the early parts of this solve. That was really odd about now. What about 1s? Presumably 1 can't go in any of those positions either, for exactly the same reason as 9s. So we can whack a 1 in there. That is a very strange start. So I was going to say the other end of this thermo is a 2, but no, 2 could go in the blue cells. Now, okay, these can't be 2s or 8s because they're in positions 3 and 4 on a thermo from either end. Well, I mean, trust me, they can't be 2 or 8. Try and put a 2 or an 8 in any one of those cells and then take it, if it's a 2, to the low end of the thermo, and if it's an 8 to the high end, and you'll see that it fails. Therefore, 2 and 8 are in these 3 cells in the middle row, and therefore they're either here on a thermo, and if 2 was on such a thermo, 1 would have to be on that thermo as well, or 2 or 8 are sitting here. And if 2 is sitting here, 1 is coming with it, 1 and 3 on the white dots. If 8 is here, 7 and 9 are coming with it. So in these little 3 columns, 2 is always accompanied by 1, and 8 is always accompanied by 9. And that's feeling quite weird already. So in this box, 1, 2, 8 and 9 are joined at the hip. And one of these, thermos or runs of 3, is made up of 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 only. What does that mean for the X's? I don't know. This is strange. This is a strange puzzle. One and 9 in this middle box must be in those cells. That's totally fatuous given the 1 and the 9 here, so forget I just said that, it's an embarrassment. Right, 1 on this thermo has to be on one end, because it can't be in those cells. Oh. If that was a 1, this would be a 9 on the X. Have I now proved that one of those X's is a 1-9 pair? If I hadn't proved that, the way that they wouldn't be a 1-9 pair is if 1 was there and 9 was there. Then 1 and 9 would be in these cells. And that's not possible. Well, okay, what I was trying to demonstrate originally, and it's good that I asked the question this way round. Got some permanent drilling that I can hear, I hope you can't. Anyway, I was trying to say, can we definitely state that one of these X's is a 1-9 pair? And I think we can. If neither of those had a 9 there or a 1 there, then we'd have a 1 here and a 9 here. Now, by Sudoku, 1 and 9 would have to go in those 3 cells, and one of them would have to end up on an X. At least one. Well, only one. And that means one of these X's is a 1-9 pair. And that means in this row, 9 is either here or here. And that's fulfilling its role in the disjoint subset in position 7. And now that can't be a 9. And earlier we said the only place 9 could be in this row was in one of those 2 cells. That one is ruled out by this 9, that one by the same rule and by Sudoku, that one by Sudoku. So now 9 in row 3 is definitely there. Now, okay, great news. Now, the way the way the disjoint subset works is that one bottom digit for 9 will be in that row. One bottom digit for 9 will be in that row. And we now know it's in one of those cells. So one of these 2 on the X is a 1. And 2 of these 3 cells are 2 and 8. Therefore, only one of them is from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In fact, these cells are all selected from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in this row. One of them at least is a 3 or a 7. And whichever one that is, you can track down its thermo back to its near end of the sequence of digits. So if that was a 3, we'd have to go 3, 2, 1, which we couldn't do. In fact, 3 can't be on that thermo because you would need the 1 on the thermo. Does that mean 3 is definitely on this thermo? No. Oh yes, it does, actually. 3 and 7 can't be in these cells, I've just worked out. Because we said that 1 is going with 2 in one of these vertical groups, and 8 is going with 9. And that means And the 2 or the 8 in those cases are in the middle set. So you couldn't put 3 in a middle set because it couldn't have a lower digit in its same vertical group, because 1 and 2 are in a different one if 3 is in one of these. So 3 and 7 can't be in these cells. Now 3 must be in one of these two. 2 must be in one of those, and 1 must be at the end of the thermo. These don't have a 2 in. This is strange. Now, can I say, yes, 7 can't be in this box, or on those 2 cells, because the rest of its thermo would go 7, 8, 9, and we've already got a 9. So by the same token that 7 can't be in those cells, because it can't be topped or tailed by an 8 or 9, 7 is now in one of these cells, and in this 5 digit, 8 is in one of those 2, and 9 is on the end. So one of these thermos ends 7, 8, 9. One of them begins 1, 2, 3. Now, I can't say the same about 4 and 6 here. One of these verticals is going to not be 1, 2, or 8, 9. Ah, so its middle digit is from 4, 5, or 6. I could have worked that out before. I mean, that is clearly true. It's probably not worth pencil marking. 8 can't be in these cells because it's in one of these 2. Now, disjoint subset. What have I forgotten about that at the moment? It's probably something. And these X's, they seem to be the absolute key disambiguators to me. Well, or maybe not. Ah, maybe these cannot be 1, 2 pairs. No, that's not true. If that was 1, 2 on this thermo, then these can't be 1, 2. But if that was 1, 2, these can be. So that is not an interesting thing at all. It's tricky. I don't know whether to be looking at the disjoint subset rule. Oh, I could put 9 in this row, very straightforwardly. Sudoku, that's sometimes something to look at in a puzzle. Right, 9 goes next to 8 on the white dot. Now, we've got an 8 in top middle. Ah, that doesn't get rid of the 8 possibility here. That's a shame. And we've got 9 in top right. So that can't be 9. This can't be 8 anymore. That's quite interesting, because this can't be 9 because we know that 9 in this row is in one of those positions, and this can't be 9 by disjoint subset. This can't be 8 either, because 9 can't be here or here because of Sudoku. So this is 8, and 9 is now here or here, but the fact that there's an overlap between those 2 positions and those 2 positions does not mean, I don't think, that I can just write 9 in here. Because 9 could be there and there, and I don't see why that would be necessarily wrong. In fact, somehow I think it's likely to be right, because I have the feeling that we're going to work out that this is the 1, 2 segment of the middle box. But that, I tell you what, we should use some symmetry. Can I work out where 1 goes in this row? Just no, because 9 was a given digit. That's why that was more helpful. I was just thinking, well, 1 is, I suppose it could be still in any of those 3 positions. Okay, how about in this row? No, it's useless. I shouldn't just guess at what I might be able to find. I should just look at the grid. So one of these ends goes 9, 8, 7. One of these goes 1, 2, 3. Now maybe one of them is already ruled out by the subset rule somehow. Or, okay, I don't think that's going to be 2. Let's see if I can prove that. We know that one of these x's is a 1-9 pair. Yeah, I mean, that means this cell can't be 1. I was just wondering, can I stop 1 being in that cell? But I'm not sure that I can. Now, okay, let's go back to think about 1-9 pairs. Neither of these x pairs is a 2-8 pair, because neither of these cells can be 2 or 8. If we had a 4-6 pair here, that would force these cells to be 2 and 8. These would be a 1-9 and a 4-6 with 2, 8 there. These remaining cells would be 3, 5 and 7. And what was wrong with that? Yeah, that's not possible. These can't be 3, 5 and 7. Because in one case, there's a 1-9 pair here, which needs either a 2 there or an 8 there. And if we've put 2 and 8 there, because we've used a 4-6 pair here, that won't work. So this is actually a 1-9-3-7 quad. I have a feeling this is not going to help now. But never mind. Now, there's either a 2 or an 8 there. This digit is 4, 5 or 6. That's all I'm coming up with as a result of that. And this could still be a 2 if this went 1, 2, 4, 5 or 6. Now, we know this can't be a 1 because if the 1-9 pair's here, it's this way round. So that can't be a 1, that can't be a 9, this can't be a 9, that can't be a 1. Oh, disjoint subset. I hadn't thought much about that in the context of these cells. One of these two is a 1, and that's going to deal with the 1 in the bottom right position. And that means that can't be a 1. So the 1 in this row is in one of those two cells. And that will deal with the bottom left one. So the bottom right one will be here. The bottom left one will be here. The bottom middle one is going to have to be in one of these 3 cells. It's not actually that helpful. In fact, 9 by Sudoku is now in one of those 2. And we know it's not left middle. Wow, weird. You can put in that 9. And I could have done that anyway because I knew there was a 9 in one of those cells. So not only are my normal Sudoku skills falling apart, but my ability to interpret disjoint subset is not very strong either. These are 2, 4, 6 as a triple. That is so uninteresting. Can that be 3? Because I don't think it probably is 3. This would be 3, 8, 9. One of these would be 1, 2 something. I don't know. These can't be 8. That's not 8 and that's not 8 by Sudoku. Oh, I nearly can say that's not 8 because this can't be 9, but that could be 7. Ah, no, look, that won't work. If that was 8 and that was 7, 7 would be forced to be here, and 8 would then be there and clashing with 8. So, this is not 8. That is 8 in row 3. And that's bottom right 8 sorted out. Oh, that doesn't mean that one is resolved. It does mean this is 2, 4, 6. Actually, all of these are 2, 4 or 6. It's probably not very interesting that they're all 2, 4 or 6. 8 is in one of these 2 cells. Have we had middle 8 or middle bottom 8 yet? No. One can still be there or there. Okay, that was quite interesting about 8 being ruled out of there by these 2. and because it would have to go with 7. So in a similar way, I could probably rule 1 out of there, but I've already ruled it out of there on the disjoint subset, isn't it? Because one of those is a 1. 9 is in one of those cells by SUDOKU. And one of these 4, but it can't be there because of the disjoint subset, so it's in one of those 3. And 9s that I do have left to place, considering disjoint subset, are top left, bottom left, top middle, and middle. There must be some way to determine which way round these two thingies go. Now, okay, let's think about this, because one of these is a 1-9 pair and the other isn't. So the one that is a 1-9 pair is going to run from 1 upwards. Well, running up the grid on the thermo, we either start at a 1 there or a 9 here. And in the other case, we start at a 3 here or a 7 here. Does that affect these digits? Starting with a 3 here, these would have to be 5, 6. Oh, which they can't be. We've got a 3 in one of those positions. That can't be a 3. That can't be a 7. We've got a 7 in one of these positions. That can't be 7. That can't be 3. This was all blindingly obvious and I couldn't see it. Now, so if that was 7, then there's a 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, 5 or 6, 7. So we'd have 5 or 6 here. 7, 3, 1, 9. That would have to be 8. Okay, what's the alternative? 1, 2 here, 9, 7, 3, 4 or 5 here. There might be some way that's getting fixed and I can't see it. 3 and 7 we've placed there and there. So this is, oh no. Oh yeah, this is not 2 because it's connected to 4, 5 or 6, you numpty man. There, I'm not trying to trigger you, I'm just being slow. So that's 2. 2 always goes with 1, with 1, and that fixes where the 1, 9 is, and that's been available for some time, ever since I pencil marked this cell and didn't notice that it was clearly on a white dot with that. Anyway, okay, good. We've got the 1, 9, that's 3, 7. Now we can do things on these thermos. One of them, this one has a 7 in the central box, so that now goes there. This one has 7 there and a 3 in one of these. The 3 now has to be here. Oops, sorry, I mistyped. 3, 2, 1. Forget those corner marks, and that can't be 3, can't be 6, that's 5 or 6. And that thermo goes that way round. Both these thermos actually have their bulbs at the top, it turns out. Unlike these two thermos, which have their bulbs at the bottom. That's a 9. This group is either 4, 5, 6 or 5, 6, 7. So that is a 4 or a 7. I suspect I should know what it is. Those pencil marks have gone. Oh, we've had 1 and 2 in this row. So that's 3, 4 or 5. No, 3 or 4. 4 or 5. 5 or 6. This is 4, 5 or 6. Now, I'm sure the disjoint subset's coming into play, but that's a hard thing to look at. I'll get to that in a bit. I want to do the Sudoku stuff first. I seem to have only one place for 8 in this row. That's correct. Now I've got a 4, 5, 6 triple in this row, so that's a 2. That's got to be a 3 in this box. Yeah, I really don't understand how this puzzle is working out, but anyway. That is 4, 5, 6 or 7. I don't know if I can... 5 and 6 are definitely in these cells. So that's not a 5. It's also not a 3 by the disjoint, so that's 1 or 7. Now, I should try and use the disjoint a bit. I know that. So, I don't know, we haven't got all that much of it. Bottom rights, we have 7, 1, 2, 9. That is 3 or 5. Oh, and so is this. In fact, this is fixed. This is odd. It sees 3, 7, 9, and we've had a 1 in the bottom right, so that's a 5. That's now a 3. This pair is a 1, 7 pair. And now bottom lefts involve 1, 7, 3, and 9. Okay, I don't know what that means. This is 1 or 7, so that's not 4. This is not 2 on the its white dot. These white dots are quite helpful. I'm gradually getting that. This one is 5 or 7. And we've had, no, we haven't had 5. We've had, no, we haven't had 7. They're both bottom right, not top right. This one is, I don't know, 1, 3, 5 or so. This is top left where we can't have a 9 again. That's so uninteresting. That's also top left. Oh, I don't know. Oh, that 9 sees that cell. So now these are the only remaining 9s to put in. That's totally uninteresting. 5, 2, 7, 3, 9. We're going to have an 8 in one of those two cells by Sudoku. There's a 4, 5, 6 triple. 1, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. So these are from 2, 3, 7. I haven't ruled any of those out. Yes, 7 can't be in middle by the disjoint rule. I'm sure there's an easy way to go about this now, and I'm sure I'm not going to find it, because I'm not very good at disjoint subset, and basically understanding it is my problem. Okay, that can't be a 1 because of that. I mean, that's probably easy for some people to see. That's a 7, that's a 5. These remaining ones are 1 and 3. They occupy the same position, so that's not a 6. These ones are 1 and 7. That can't be 7 anymore. That's 7. This is now a 4, 5, 6 triple, so that's 5. That sorts out some triples in these boxes, and that might help with the disjoint. Isn't it weird how this all fits together? Maybe not to you. That's a 6 by Sudoku now. So that's a 2, that's a 4. On the white dot, that gives us 1 and 7. And that's now a 4. That makes that 3. I think we're going to get the whole alarm clock done here. Look at that. It's all finished. Hurrah. I'm hoping the rest of the puzzle gets a little bit easier now, but we'll see. This is now a 9-5 pair. And we've had a 5 in middle, so we know which way round they go. This is a 1-6 pair, and we've had a 6 in middle bottom, so we know which way round they go. Good. Let's try this column, which matches off. 6, 1, 4, 5, 8. 7 has to be there. Have we had a 2 or 3 in middle? No. But we know where to place 9, and we have another 2 or 3 in middle there, so I can't resolve those yet. 7, 8, 9, 6, 1. We need a 5 in one of these two positions. These are therefore from 2, 3, 4, and that's a triple here, so this is an 8-1 pair, and we've had 1 in middle right. So disjoint tells us which way round they go. This is now a 4-6 pair. I'm looking for the disjoint. Oh, I just looked for Sudoku in that case. Right, these are from 2, 3, 5. We've had 3 in bottom left, so we don't get a 3 in that corner. One of these is now a 3 by Sudoku, so one of these is a 3 by Sudoku, but we've had 3 in bottom right, so that's a 3, that's an 8. This is 2, this is 1. If the conflict checker in this puzzle tells you about the disjoint, that's quite a step forward. I don't know if it does, and it rather depends on how the constructor has set it up. 1, 5, 6 and 7 there. 3 and 5 here. If I can get through the rest of this on ordinary Sudoku, like 8 in the final column, I will be very happy, because then I don't have to look at the blooming disjoint again, but it's a bit unlikely. 2, 8, that's a 4 to finish the box. This is a 2, that's a 3, that's a 5. Ooh, it's looking more likely now. Yeah, these aren't a deadly pattern. These are just going to finish off, and that is Jobo's alarm clock. And that has woken me up today, definitely. I did actually start at about 9:15 my time, but 9:15 a.m., not p.m. Whoa, that was good fun. I mean, it's a very clever puzzle. Pretty difficult, I would say. I'm quite pleased to be through that in half an hour. And I know I was a little bit slow with that pair. But other than that, I was quite pleased with how I was working out what was going on here. Maybe it'll turn out it wasn't very optimal at all, but it feels like a great puzzle. It tells you a lot. I think that's hard in comparison to the Patreon pack, actually. Do check it out. If you could do that puzzle, you can do everything in the Patreon pack. I'm going to tell you that. Anyway, thank you for watching, and hope to see you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.